Now in this video, I want to talk about routing and how the system works. So this is basically about if I hit this drum sound here, for example, we hear that drum sound, and where does it go when I hit this pad? Now this pad also corresponds to the pads on my keyboard. I do have it set up here for pads. See, that says key pads. And when I come down to here and I hit this thing here, it's like, okay. And this is C. That's in C bank. I go to here, this is in B bank, but this is muted. This sticks this over here. And see, it's muted, and now we see it, right? So that means once it's muted, it doesn't go anywhere. But once it does go somewhere, it's going to the kit. All these sounds all go to the kit. See, it's purple right here? That kit is the track. That track is 01H. And all these sounds go out of that. Now, here on the bottom, we're going to see this. Like here, for example, you'll see this is the this is info right here. I open and close it, right opens up. And then here, this is the pad. If I hit this here pad channel, I see all the pads. And now all the colors change as I strike any one of these pads. I can do that with my fingers on my keyboard, and you see the colors change right here. And if I go to here, of course, and I strike the pads again, you see that. So this is the output of these pads through a channel. Before, we were going through the kit here. Now the kit's here and the output is here. This output is the master output of the recording console. So that means it's the main out where everything goes to your left and right speaker. This here, of course, feeds to that. And this is where the kit's at. This is where the pad's at. When I hit pad channel here, now we see that the pad channel feeds into the track. When we hit track, the track feeds into the main output. And that's how that pretty much works. And I can always add effects to the actual main output. If I add an effect right here, it'll affect everything. So for example, it's a limiter right here, and we'll put something else strange here actually. Let's go back in here and show you how this affects everything in the system. Let's use something like a reverb, because that'll be consistent and keep going on. Oh, even a delay is good too. We'll go to, let's see here. Well, multi-tap would be kind of weird. It's a multi-tap delay, so this is on the track itself. Every sound, no matter where I'm at, no matter what bank I hit in, they're all being affected by this one sound because they all have to go through this track and it has to also go through the effect at the same time. Let's get rid of that effect. Let's go ahead and make it none, totally nothing there at all, and make it easy for us. There you go, and we have none. And now, all we got is a sound, which is no sound whatsoever. The only effect we have now is the effect on the master output right here on the out. And here I'm gonna sort of like, I guess I'll keep that on for now. I wanna go into a position where I can actually do more with this. And you'll see more. So right here, you'll see, if I go to here, that gets rid of everything right there. This is the bottom panel. That's the bottom panel right there. Once that bottom panel comes down, I can see more of everything here. But I can also go to here now and sort of make this bigger and drag this down. And now I can see every note clearly right in front of me. And so it's a great way to see everything inside of the software, MPC 3.7. Now this is available in all this MPC software is actually, so this is the same thing you normally would see in the regular software, whether it's 2.15 or whatever. But I want you to see this too as well. Now, once I remove the panel here, I can also come to here and I can add the keyboard in the bottom, right? And the keyboard's right here. I have the keyboard going right there. See, once I get down the keyboard, I'm in the wrong area. Over the drum start over here. And so as I get there, you notice how the pads changed. When I was down here, there's no patches. So C, it starts here, C1. You see that right there? It's C1. And from here, I go to C again over here. I'm in D. So we're seeing that each pad corresponds to a specific key on the keyboard. So that's what's important to know. And so I can get rid of that too. I get rid of this and I get rid of that. I'm good, right? But I can also have a control center, a console, mixing console right here. And this is it right here. So I can go to here and open this up. Let me go right here, open up Y. There you go. And we got the entire console here. Now we can see everything. Now this is the difference of having the software rather than having a standalone. Now if you got the standalone, I mean, that's cool. But if you can't afford the standalone and you can't afford to do that, you can do everything here. It sounds the same. So don't think that you're being cheated out of anything really. And there are ways to work around all this stuff. Now as you see right here, I see all my tracks here. I can add effects anywhere in here. I can also come to here and bring the pads in. Now we have the pads inside of our mixing console. Now see, this part of the console is different. This part, I see everything. I got my pads here. I got the mixing system here. I got the track here. I got the master output here. This is too much to see when you're first starting out. So right over here at the very top, I can show one or the other. I can show the pads only. And this is the show pad mixer. I can come to here and show channel only. And this shows where everything's at. I can say, well, what's here? I see nothing going on, right? I gotta move over to here. Okay, this is where the output for the track is, the audio output, right? And I move further down to here. I go further to the edge here, all the way over here. I also have the subgroups. I have the returns here. So I can send other sounds here as well. So I go back here. The first one's the pads. And the beauty is I have all the pads here. I can strike them, get an idea what's going on with these pads. I can add effects like right here. There's an effect right there for that. Over here. I keep them I'm not using, but you can see the levels here and see where they're going. These levels are going directly to track 01H. Now also, if I go here in the middle, I'll see that those sounds are going there, right? But I don't see any of the sounds here. So if I'm only going to see the send and return here, what I have on the left-hand side here are just different groups I have going on here. So I move across here, you'll see that, wow, this one's here. Because I have a lot of different kits in here. This is sort of like a bunch of kits, like a template. I might have all my drum sounds in here and pick the ones I want to use, or I can have different songs all together in case I'm trying to like track some stuff out on another software. So you can see this level here is pretty loud, right? I can bring this down totally. And so you want to make sure you keep your levels around a certain area. So I myself prefer to keep them within a certain area so I don't have any problem with noise happening, right? And so that's cool. And if I move this along, we still see this right here, our master output. This is 6, about 5 or 6 right there, right? And I may like that totally. Now what I'm trying to do is get a good balance normally. So I got my sounds going on here. I don't have anything live, anything else, right? So I want to have my kick drum loud enough. So I come down to here and pull this down and make sure it leads everything else in the system. And once I have this done, it works better inside the mix. And this shows you how we can do this inside the mix and make everything work so that I can have levels I want to see here in the drums, bring some stuff I think is too loud down. I want the drums to be, the bass drum for sure, to be the loudest sound I hear. When I come to here, that's not bad. And when I go back to here, I can see the overall sound here. I know zero's here. I don't want to get too higher than that. I want to make sure I have some headroom. The purpose of all this is to make sure we have headroom in the mix. I don't want anything to go over to 0. I want to make sure I keep the levels right. And we want to deal with our gain staging. So we don't get too much of any one thing too loud in our mix. But this is the console we have in our MPC. And as I come to here, I can always come add more effects here to make stuff sound even heavier. I might come here and do my own thing, for example. I'll say, I like that sound, I want to add something else now. If I know my sound's okay, I want to make sure I set up my output master first. So I'll come to here, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go down here and pull up an SSL G right there. I'll pull this up. I'll come over here, leave the default. I want to get some glue. Now you see that sounds a little louder right now, right? But I haven't increased the audio level here. I'm making sure my gain staging is perfect. Every now and then it goes above that, see that? Now there, when it goes real loud, we got a clap and something else doing that. So I want to find those sounds and bring those sounds down. So the purpose of having this mixing console is to control your audio signals and make sure they do not get too loud. Once I see that, I will go back here to the pads. I'll press play here. I think I know where that's at actually. I go right along here, and they're right here. These sounds are too loud. Bring them down. Now I go back to here. That clap came in too loud. So now I go back to here and find where that clap's at. So we find this clap. It's a percussion here. So it's got to be on this side. I got so many sounds in here. Right there. So now I go back over here to my main. So you see now it's tamed. You want to make sure you don't want to get above a certain point here. I want to make sure I have headroom up in here. And I want to control that audio amount. I may come in here also and add something, maybe a width. So I'm going to come here, not to add width to the mix. I may want to come and add something warm in my case. You know, I add effects to get me the sound I want to have. In this case, I want to keep it warm. It's so digital. So I'll go back here, I'll get an Ampex. I want to put an Ampex over here and bring this tape in. Add it in. Let me get that sound. Now I go to here. I want to bring this sound in, so I'm going to look at this from a different angle. This is the sound I have right here. Got my mix here for my boom bap field. If I turn this off, so I'm making sure my output is just strong enough and give me that kind of flavor I want to have. And I do everything here in the mixing console on the software. It's such an easier way to work. And the reason why the software is kind of cool and why I tout it a lot sometimes, if you have no money and you got an MPC and you want to use this thing, it's perfect for you. Because you can see everything as a console. You can't see it this way on the MPC and work from one to the other this quickly. You have to go back and push buttons. And I prefer to actually move faster. And you might like this also, even if you have an MPC that's actually a standalone. You can do your song first, then come in here and mix it up, and then go to a different software if you want to. But check your levels out. Get used to how to use the console. If you have any questions, hit me up, of course. We're at soundmechanics.com, and we do lessons. And I'll see you in the next video.